What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? Just making sure everything's going good. I hope you are doing wonderful out there. It is Tuesday, back here in the new bunker, and I have a fresh, wonderful PC CRT restoration that I'm right in the middle of. I have removed the boards and opened the CRT. It's in the next room over here. But yeah, we're going to go into that restoration here soon. Let everybody get rolling in. How we doing today? It's a little rainy where I'm at, and that's just fine. New shop is great. And I tell you, I'm having a real hard time coming up with a different name for this place. You know, I mean, it's not the same bunker. But I just love the CRT bunker, so I might just keep it the bunker. I've used the term the bunker. I went and checked. There were 42 bunker episodes. 42 episodes in the bunker. So it's hard for me to let that name go. And I don't really want to change things up. So for now, this is just going to be the bunker again, I think. So this playlist is going to keep going. And this is episode 3 into the bunker. And it's actually the first time we're going to do some soldering and desoldering. So welcome in, everybody. That's correct, Dr. Claw. It is Steve time. Welcome, Dr. Claw. Welcome, Jonathan and James. Hey, good to see you, James. Welcome back. Brian, Robcat. Welcome in, everybody. And look, if you're out there, please do us a huge solid favor, and that's drop a like on there, on that little algorithm. If you could, it will help. Seasoned Salt, welcome in. Drop a like there for us on the old YouTuber Reno app, and that'll help push this Jazzy Fest out there into the ether. So this is a PC CRT, everybody's favorite, the PC CRTs. And today, hey, welcome in, Koala. There you go. Good job. Season 2. Yeah, we get to call it Season 2 right off the bat. See if we can get another 42 episodes in here under our belt. All right. So yeah, this is a Q910. And it's actually, funny enough, made by Hyundai. Hyundai, same car manufacturers who have their cars stolen all the time for some reason. Make their cars stealable with like a USB drive. But hey, you can't steal this CRT with a USB drive. And you certainly can't restore it with one either. So you got to get inside and get inside the guts of the CRT. And I'll be honest with you. When it comes to, let's just talk about PC CRTs in general. Okay? First off, you should note that PC CRTs are different almost all the time. So anytime you work on one, it is going to be a variation of something else, and you need to be prepared for that if you're venturing into that. If not, you can just sit back, relax, and watch this thing get torn apart. Well, eventually. I have a whole video that I will be producing on this particular set, but today we're going to go in and we're going to work on the circuit boards, which this is about halfway point, right? When we get through this with this. But what I'm trying to say is they're all quite tricky to get inside of. Now, I was fortunate enough to have a copy of the manual, which if I didn't have a copy of the manual, I probably wouldn't be working on this CRT for somebody because there's too much risk there. So I wouldn't want to damage something. Let me show you a little bit more what I mean. If you get down in this manual, it's quite interesting. You have all this information, and I'm just going to buzz through it here for you because you go through and you have about 63 pages of everything. You even have a copy, high-res photos of the circuit board, but there's nothing telling you about how to break the monitor down, except for this picture at the very bottom of an explosion view, and I have to zoom it all the way to 500% to really get a good look at it. And this one is a bit challenging because it's got no screws on it on the outside. Hey, Ronnie. Always, so it's got no screws on it. So you look at it, you're like, how do you get this thing open? And you'll see this more in the video. But this shell is so tricky to get off. You have to pop off some plastic pieces right here, which may be a little difficult for you to see in that picture. So let me do some things here. Let me shrink myself down. Throw me down here. Let's expand this, get a better view. That's right, folks. Look at this. You have live graphics enhancement with Steve, the amazing man of editing videos. So if you're looking here with me, I had to get this big plastic piece right here off. This is the big back shell. And this is all I had to go by. So I started researching it, looking at it more, poking around. And I had to pop these little plastic pieces right here off. There's two of them. And then there were these little brackets that you can see right there. They're little pieces of metal. I had to pull those out. And it's not like it just popped off after that. There's actually a bunch of these little pressure points that you have to stick a screwdriver or some kind of plastic expunger tool. I actually had to lay the CRT down on its face and get those to release. Those little pressure points right there. Let me see if I can make that larger for you. So I had to get in here, right in here, and get pressure against these little clips through a tiny hole, and then I was able to finally get that top piece of plastic right here to come off. And then you have to be real careful because there's nothing holding this CRT in place. It's literally just floating. It's all kept in pressure by the plastic. So it's a bit tricky, and they all can be like this. There were a couple screws then holding the circuit board in. I'm going to go into that more detail, but the problem is I don't want to get in here and actually break any of this plastic trying to get this thing open for the client. So it takes some time, an hour. This one took an hour to get this open. And it's, again, yes, Pasadillo, it is easy to break this stuff. And Andy's transport wood. Discharging on this one was actually pretty easy. There wasn't a spark at all. So there was a bleeder resistor in there. So it automatically discharged itself. I'll tell you that much. So there weren't, this was pretty tricky getting this all out. You have to be careful, and you can't just yank on the cables. The cables actually had locks on them, all where they, and when I say cables, I mean the conductors right here, for the board. And so finally I got all that out. What I'm going to do now, though, is we're going to go through it. We're going to make the cap kit. I'm basically going to pull every capacitor off this. It's one big board that encapsulates most of it, and there is some stuff on the neck board, and I do believe some input functionality is on the neck board. And I'm not working on the neck board first. I mean, I'm going to work on this in one time, but today we're going to work on the main board and decapping it, as we could say. I mean, decapping the electrolytic capacitors. So I got all this out. This is the board right here in the middle that we're working on. And so, what's up? What's up, everybody? Drop a like for us. Get the algorithm fresh and flowing here. I'm going to turn down that audio. I'm sorry, I should have done the audio down a little bit. And, but that's kind of the introduction. Now, if I jump over here to this, should be able to pull this other camera into view. And let's do it. This is the first overhead. There we go. Look at that. Wonderful. Yes. Excellent. Right? So we're going to remove these capacitors here. I need to get a piece of paper. So I'm going to write down each capacitor value as I take it. Let's get a piece of paper. All right. Know if I have any paper in here. Okay. All right. I found something here. Let's make sure. Get everything logged properly. Yeah, every little bit helps. Even when the service manual doesn't have a lot, it definitely still helps to have something. Because again, if you have nothing, you're going in really blind, and you could break something much easier. So at least I knew where the tabs were, and I knew that there was a way to push them in and get them out because they were designed that way, but you just never know. This old plastic, once it gets to be 20 years old, it has a very good chance of falling apart. Okay. Overhead view, that is live, folks. And I'm going to fire up that lovely, wonderful FR301 made by Hacko. Should be good and clean. And we will start removing capacitors. And before I forget, I do need to take some pictures here for the client. Because, just so you know, every time I do a restoration of a PC, of a CRT, I take pictures of all the boards and all the process as it's done, and then I take pictures of all the parts that have been removed. I put all that in a lovely cloud file, and I send that to the client once the job is done. It shows everything that's been done, all the work that's been done, and they can see it as it happens. So, let's get in here. And this is just a single-sided board. Beautiful board here. Beautiful screen printing on there. No problems. Working on this board, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this camera arm a little bit up. And then still be looking down on the whole project here with me. But if you're coming in now, you've not missed anything. We're just getting started. And yeah, let's get in here and start removing some capacitors. I'm just going to work my way this way from this one. Let's see. And we'll just start pulling them. And I don't want the focus to be all cranky. Maybe that's too much light. I don't know. Okay. It's not wanting to focus, baby. Come on, focus up here. I feel like my friend Roger. There we go. We'll just go at it a little bit like further out right now. All right, let's start her off with C. Can't even see that. CP61, I believe. 61, yes. And as I say, I'm going to take them all out. This is a nice solder, too. It's not low quality, the one that was used with the board. All right. Now, when you're working with these old boards, of course, the temperature is important. And I always keep this thing set pretty much on the lowest, around the 1, unless I'm working on a very thick board and 1's just not cutting it. There's a bunch of grounds. That's a little trick. You don't want to go too hot. You'll burn the pads. And cause damage to the board. I mean, we didn't do that anything there, but you could if you went in too hot. And then when you're actually heating up what I'm heating up there is I'm trying to touch pretty much just the legs on the capacitors themselves. I just want to tap the leg here and heat that up, and hopefully it gets everything fluid. I don't really even want to touch the board itself. If I do, it's very light work on that board. And so our first capacitor, CP61. Right? Just double checking everything. CP61. That is a 25 volt 330. And the one that's in here, like I say, this is not a high, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not, it's like something, I'm not sure what that, it doesn't have any exact emblem on it. It has this little logo, which I'm not familiar with. Right there, I don't see any other branding, maybe RSS, or that's probably, it's an 85 degree rating. And so that's why these are good to change out now, right? That's not that great of a capacitor at this point. I mean, I wouldn't even put that kind of a capacitor if it was new in something. Sounds like a boat, huh? Yeah. Makes a little noise, doesn't it? See, I'm just trying to heat up that solder. I mean, I'll touch the solder too. I try not to go all the way down to the board, though. I'm floating that. Let's see what we have here. It's another similar 85 degree weird brand, 25 volt. I'm guessing that's RSS then. That must be the brand. Which again, I've never even heard of, but oh yes. Say Cole's in here and he's sleeping and he's being such a good boy. He's being good and quiet. Can't believe it. Usually he'd be snoring. Oh, there he went. There he went. So yeah. Again, time to change these. We'll see how we do on time. There's a lot of capacitors in this thing. And if we have time left over, we'll test them afterwards. But thanks again, everybody. If you're in here and you have not already, it always does help if you drop a like on the video. What it will do is we'll send out notifications not only to, I mean, just basically anybody who's interested in the show. And every time you click the like button, it does result in like 10 views on average. So I do appreciate it. Is the most helpful thing you can do for this live show is to hit the like button. All right, hang on. Did I write that down? Yes. Okay, just making sure. CP63. CP63. Gosh, I'm getting old. My eyesight is great, and it still is. I'm starting to question it because there's some blurry times now, right? That's why I always triple check things now. I never want to make a mistake. And when you're making a new cap kit like this, it is crucial, right? It is crucial to take your time. Now, thankfully, we go back and look, you know, over here. I have the service manual, and there actually are part lists here. And I have all these high-res photos of the boards and everything. So I do have, what I'm going to do after I make this capacitor kit is I'm going to refer to what it says in the manual and check it. And just make sure everything matches up. And if it doesn't, I want to refer and check that out. You know. Yeah, I know, right, James? I hit 40, you know, I'm about a year in on 40 almost, and exactly, you start losing that eyesight. And then you start forgetting things. Where'd you put that? Where are those keys at, Dad? I don't know. Where's the remote, Dad? I don't know. And then, like, you sit around and you start watching John Wayne Western movies and falling asleep on the couch. Yeah, you're becoming the old man. You're the old man. All right. Well, that's all right. Oh, man, look at my life. It's a lot like you. Yeah, I wonder where they get these cheap. I mean, these are just knockoff capacitors, right? There's nothing special about them. All right. 5-7. $25-volt, 470. Again, still with the RSS. Let's see if I can get you around here. Get you a better look at this board. Oh yeah, you can see that good silk screen there now. See, you just want to make sure that, you know, it looks pretty good and clean. There's the four we've hit off here. Bust them out. This poop in my pants. Oh, that's sad. Yeah. I have a funny story actually related to poop in the pants. So my son, him and his buddy were over this weekend. His buddy came over. And I needed to run to Walmart. I think it was Saturday, I guess. So I was like, you boys can come with me to Walmart, right? Because they're 12 and they want to do something. I'm like, yeah, you can go run around Walmart. So they go to Walmart, let them run around. We leave. They buy some candy. Like a bunch of Sour Patch Kids. All sour gummies. And all those sour gummies. Let me make sure everything's good there. So, come back to the house and hang out for a little bit. And they eat like all 3 bags of these sour gummy candies. And then they're like, yeah, we're going down to the basketball court to play some basketball. There's a community park in the neighborhood. And so, they go walk down to the basketball courts. Well, must have been about 15 minutes later, they come running back and they're like, Dad, is Mom here? And I'm like, no, she's actually not. What's going on? And I think I'd fallen asleep, of course, like I said, watching a Western. I was watching a Western movie on the couch, falling asleep like an old man would on Saturday. And they wake me up. Well, Liam's not feeling so good after eating that candy. I said, really? Okay, what's going on? Well, he pooped his pants. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was half asleep. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was dreaming. But yeah, had to help the kid get some new clothes. I told him to bottle it up and bag it up. Let the wife deal with it when she came home. She got to do the laundry on that one. Happens to the best of us. I told him, I said, you know what? It happens to the best of us. I said, don't let it keep you down, kid. I said, I've been there. I said, one of the best pieces of advice. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from my friend's dad. He said, never trust a fart. And boy, he is correct. Never, ever trust a fart. minute you do, it'll squirt on you. So, there you go. Steve's dad of the weekend. What's up, Jake? What else? Oh, Mark. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by. Working on this CRT circuit board for the Hyundai. The Hyundai PC CRT. The model is a Q910. And with my slow granddad pace, we have gotten 6 capacitors out. We are 1/9 of the way there. All right. Now, many of you guys might know this. So as I'm pulling these capacitors out, I want to bring this up. Go over to the actual Retro Tech channel, and if you want to go back and watch any or check out any old episodes of the live show, I have narrowed down all the playlists that are public on the channel, and there's only a few of them really anymore. There's one that is all the live bunker shows, which again, this is part of, and this is episode 45 on that playlist. So you can go back, and if you've missed anything, check it out. We might have a different brand of capacitor here. Oh no, this is kind of, yeah, not really marked. It's green now. It's definitely an SSL, I think. 85 degrees still, random letters all over it. Okay. But yeah, you can go watch any episodes there. Same thing with all the like productions. I've got them seasoned out kind of on playlists. You've got the last few years directly of just playlists for the channel of like the big productions. And that's how I've been segmenting it. So like playlists like this, we're in the middle of course 2024. And that last episode on the FW900 is the most recent episode on the playlist there. Thanks everybody for checking that out. I know everybody, I'm sure here watched that because it got pretty good reviews and pretty good numbers. Sorry, trying to get back in the space here. CP56. Back to an RSS. Oh, yes. Awesome, Mark. I didn't know that. Yeah, I do have that. That was a lot of fun to do. That Sunthar RGB kit. A lot of fun. I enjoyed being able to do that and getting it done. So I'm excited to have that video come out. I actually just ended up doing it all as one. The restoration, I mean, it's all filmed. I haven't had the time to edit it yet. I'm having trouble getting this guy out of here. There we go. This is 56, a 25 volt 220. And that's again, we're back to these guys, sorry about that. RSS capacitors, 85 degree rating. Now, I mean, you'll notice that when this is standing up, I'm not actually also applying pressure this way, because then that would put pressure on the parts down here. But it's okay, it's only, you know, because there's a heat sink over here, and that's what's kind of holding it up, this whole board right now. But what I'll do is I'll also come in and I'll reflow solder on all these ICs down here, which is probably like the hot. Oh, yeah. What's going on out there, everybody? Oh, I'm just reading some stuff here. Oh, yeah, Jake. Yeah, we're gonna... Yeah, there's really some deep streams that we did. I couldn't believe it. Like, whole restorations, a couple of them on sets. Some of them were 3-4 hours long. Those ones are really testing on me. I don't know how. I can't really go much longer than 4 hours without losing it. I have to have a break. So hopefully now that we got this new place set up, I might be able to pull it off and go longer than 4 hours. We'll do some kind of real marathon. Okay, CP65. Another thing you also want to check, which I am doing, is you see how this, you want to make sure you know how the board is marked for the way the polarity is on the capacitors as you remove them. And if there's any kind of alteration, make note of it somewhere on either your notepad or the board itself, okay? So like if you had one of these and it didn't match, the polarity didn't match printed on the board what you actually pull, then you need to note that so you can replace it the way you found it. Because then, like, I'll come back in here and this is how I'll match up my capacitors, which way they go, based on this line here. Sometimes it's a dot, sometimes it's a plus minus game. It's marked up a different way. Almost like anything, everything is different. It's like everybody wanted to have their own version of things. I think we're on 65, right? Yes, 65. And that is back to an RSS 25 volt 100. Now I am actually waiting on Mauser to deliver the first caps, the first cap stock that we ordered back on one of those live streams to this new shop. They should be here today, but I need those caps to get this job done. Let's, James, you were asking about the KV20 FS120. I mean, it depends. I guess you could say any Trinitron would be, it depends on what the person has, like, an interest in. Why would they want it? Maybe that's the one they had growing up. It's also, like, the one I have one listed on Patreon for sale right now, which maybe that's what we're talking about. It's been fully restored, but it's like one of the last Trinitrons right before it went into Sony Bravias. It's like this was in the last 6 months of production. So this is one of those last Trinitrons ever made. And I don't know, there's some like sketchy mods out there right now for home sets that I'm waiting for more documentation to get done on to try to dive into, but hopefully over the years you'll be able to see that. And I don't know, is it, we'll get better documentation on the mods, I mean. And once we do, that's usually when I try to start offering mods, is when there's better documentation. All right, let's continue on this chunky area down here next to this. Make sure I'm getting you guys in this view here. Going right here. Okay, good. $54. This is, ooh, we got a third contender for crappy capacitors, 100 volt 47. This is a blue one, and again, I think it says like El Capo or something on it. Del Capo? Is this one of Delusional Arcade's ripoff capacitors? I'm just kidding. I can't read that. Talk about hard to read. Look at that smudged logo. Anybody recognize that? Let us know in the chat. There you go. All right. Get out of here. This is why we're changing all of them. We're not just changing the easy ones. 52. 52. This is a big boy. CP52. Oh, these are Sanwa. Ah, I can finally see on this. This is a bigger one. There we go. Kind of see that's a S-A-N-W-A. Sanwa capacitor. 85 degree. Still junk. Let's see now. We got some small ones in here we need to get on out. And I'm checking the polarity, making sure all of them are matching in here before I pull them. Then we're going to bust out CP70. There we go. CP70 is a 100 volt 4.7. It's like another RSS. You're getting to see it all, folks. Yeah, Postal Dude. Samwas are actually the nicest ones we've seen so far. That is correct. And the tube on this was made by Samsung. How about that? The tube on this set was made by Samsung. We'll check the flyback closer when we get over to that side. All right, I'm going to go with this. Here, CP67. There we go. Did you know that Flintstones are still on syndication? Did you know? Did you know the Flintstones, Popeye, Bugs Bunny, that's also still on TV, just on free channels that nobody watches? I only know because my 8-year-old daughter has been watching them on local TV. Well, local, it's not really local, it's just over-the-air channels. It's quite funny in the morning. She's gotten used to it, so it's pretty cool. It's like morning cartoons. You don't really get to pick, you just see what comes on. Just getting to experience that. Just like everybody else did. 16 volt 47 here. I don't know what the old green ones are. I don't see them marking on there. SSL is what I see. Oh, I mean, the first couple minutes I just went through the monitors. Mark was asking about the first couple minutes of the stream. We just went through the monitor service manual a little bit. Talked about how tricky it is to kind of get these things open. And, wow, looks like there was a modification done to this set. The circuit board, look at that. It's kind of interesting. Right there, check that out. That's wild. That's an actual, look at that. I just found that. Where all these diodes have been cut and hit on this jumper. See those two diodes right there? They've been snipped and put over here. That's crazy. That was done obviously before I got in here. But you can see the legs clipped off right there. So nothing really. I mean, just looking. We're just going through the board, going through the manual a little bit. And then we've been removing capacitors ever since. All right. 6-7 was the last one, right? Good. And we got these two over here, which is, ooh. So now we're in a different, that was probably power. CP stands for power, but I believe, and now we're over here to M. CM. So now we're in a different zone. So we're going to go down here and go CM. CM02 and CM03. Those are our next two capacitors right over here. These are smaller ones. Let's get number 2 out first. Oh yeah, Mark, you missed me doing the old click like for the video. Click like, please. Thing. Yeah, that's really, and that's what I kind of explained about working on really any PC CRT, is that, and you can see the dance down here if you're able to. That's the real trick when it comes to working on PC CRTs, is you're going to have to try to work your magic to get them opened. 50 volt 0.47. See if that's the same one under it, or if they're different. If we're different. There we go. Nah. Your air conditioner sounds like that sometimes. It's probably your blower then. I have something like that going on in one of my vehicles. There's a blower in there, and it gets... What happens is there's lubrication in there that breaks down on the blower usually, or the fan. And when that happens, this is different. 16 volt 47. When that happens, it gets noisy, and you have to like pull the fan motor and get it lubricated. But I was going to say, the air conditioner is not running in here. It is not cold today at all. I do have air, but I'm not going to run it. It's too loud. Sorry. All right, no problems. Good. So I'm really happy too, everybody, with the way the stream quality seems to be coming. I mean, the internet connections have been really solid out here. This is, again, the third stream we've done. No issues, really. I thought there was going to be some dropped frames in the show with Roger I did last week. Or a couple nights ago. There wasn't. So that's all good. Let's see where we'll move on to now. Let's move over. So we just cleared out this whole block. And can either move down into this area, probably what I'd prefer to do is maybe stay and remove a lot of these, because I bet these are still going to be CPs. So let's get all this half over, and we'll kind of work our way from this, and then we'll do split it in two like that. I'll do this half, and then I'll do that half up there. No, actually, you know what, Mark? It's been funny. I'll tell you. So the last place that I had my Wi-Fi set up with was, you know, I don't have that same provider here, and they're not available in my area yet. The fiber company. Now they just rebuilt. They just built infrastructure. Actually, the week I moved in. Funny enough. So I think I'm about a few months away, less than 6 months probably, if I had to guess. But I actually took their old routers that they gave me, and I was wondering if it would work good with the new internet that I have here. And I plugged the darn thing up to my Xfinity, which is just a different cable company that provides the internet here right now. And I used their routers with it, and that's been actually working really well. So what I'm going to do is, they want their routers back, the old company, but I'm just going to hold out on it a little bit. I'm borrowing their stuff. I'm going to hold on to it for a while until they send me a letter saying, we really need you to send that back or we're going to charge you. And I want to see how much they charge me, because if it's working and it's the same price as buying a new set off Amazon, I'm just going to pay them for it. But in the meantime, I get to test the whole thing for free with the it's the Eero system, I guess. Oh, Chris, that's terrible, but that's really cool that you have a cousin that graduated from JMU. That's awesome. Yeah, there were a lot of people here. I was laughing, watching them wander around downtown. Can tell. Congratulations to your cousin, Chris. All right, so I'm going to move over into this area and just making sure, and the polarity's good. This is a different section, but we'll do that too. Gotta get all these out. No, I might have to do a different method to get this huge filter cap out right here. I might have to do might have to do some different style of removal, not with the solder sucker. All right, we're gonna go over here first, though. Start with CP11. Back into those power capacitors, I'm thinking. Get you a better view. I'm trying not to make it look so blurry. I'm trying, folks. Alright, trying to just twist this. These legs are all twisted. CP11. $35 volt 100. Ooh, let's check this out. Look, interesting. So here we go. We've got an RSS capacitor. Ooh, it says RUS. So this is a different. That's the designation on type, I guess. And then still got that same logo, but it's different color, and it's actually 105 rated. See that 100? Sorry for all that autofocus, but it's a 105 degree rated capacitor, so it's better. So whatever brand that is actually probably pretty good. CP07 right under that. CP07. and 60 volt 22 UF. There we go. Get rid of that. And keep it on. Keep on trucking. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll just see how much they charge or offer. See, I actually did them a favor. So here's the thing on the internet service provider. They actually had to go through my yard pretty heavily and put a junction box in here. And so I've got, like, I was talking to them. I got some people from their high up office. I got their numbers, cell numbers. And so what my plan was just to say, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was holding it till you guys got in my neighborhood and were going to let me have it. I'm sure eventually they'll send me something. But for right now, they haven't sent me anything. And so it's been a couple weeks. But once it does, I could just literally swap out the hardware. I think the hardware costs about a little over $200 on Amazon if I order it. So I will replace it, but it was just nice to be able to test it and have it actually work and not have to buy it, test it, realize it's crap, right? And then return it and try something else. But I did get a lot of good suggestions on what people were using, which was what I wanted to hear. And I posted that on Twitter. CP18. Let's see. That one's tough down in there. Get. We can pop her out. There we go. 16 volt 10. Okay, I see. Let's see. One more right here. We're gonna leave this filter capacitor, like I said, CP04. I am not gonna remove that. This big one. I'm going to remove that last using probably not FR301. Here's this one. This is CP08. This is see, this makes sense. These higher value capacitors are right next to, well, except for that other one, are right next to the heatsink. CP08. $50 volt 100. Right there. Let's get these under here, which we have. Okay. Everything looks good on the polarity of these four. I'm going to remove these four next. So maybe I'll go ahead and just write their... Write them down. But not the values. Maybe I will just write the values if I can see them. So we've got... This is what I'm looking at, sorry. I'm looking at these four right down in here. Let's get down, maybe we can get closer. I'm looking at these four right here. And that's what I'm going to remove now. So I'm going to go ahead and write them down. CP13. It's this one. It's a 50 volt 2.2. next to that one is CV02. CV as in Victor. I'm not quite sure what that one is. Let's see. 16 volt 470. And then next to that we have CV03. Oh. 35 volt 220. And we will check all these totals and make sure they're all right. $16 volt 680 for CV. I think that's going to be 05. Yep. CV05 right here. 16 volt 680 microfarad. And so now I've got those recorded and I'm going to pull them. Well, there we go. That was a good snore from Cole. It's a good old snore from Cole. Let's get this thing ready. I'm going to pull these capacitors, that soldering iron heat up a little more, and go from there. So, welcome back. Welcome back to the bunker. Ooh, nice little breather. Sometimes you gotta take a second, catch your breath. Coffee cup is gone. We'll switch over to the seltzer. We're going to stay hydrated. And we're going to go for a 4 times removal, 4x removal here. Let's go with a different camera view. And loosen that up. And yeah, look at that. It says I can't get you close to there. So you can see the values there. CV05 is right here where my finger is. I'll get it off this side and you can see it just fall out hopefully over here. That's cool because see I could see both sides now. That's actually helpful. Who'd have thought a stream would actually help me do better work. There we go. I think I just removed the wrong one. Hello, I just... Look at that, I was laughing saying I knew what I was doing. Hold tight, everybody. We have an emergency. Looked at the wrong spot. And I removed CV06, which is just uncalled for. So we need to resolder that back into place. It's funny. Let me reattach these legs. Here we go. No harm. Hey, baby, we got you fixed. There we go. Sorry about that. Ooh. Live TV, folks. Anything can happen. The drama. The jazzy drama. Come on, people now. Heat up each other. Now we got the right one. Just get this capacitor. There we go. Pop out. There we go. Were we right? 16 volt 680. Looks like 16 volt 680 to me. Yep, good. we're going to go with this one. 04. Which means I'm again pulling the wrong one. This one, 03, is the one I need. Okay. I was about to do the exact same thing on that. Next door capacitor, but I didn't. I almost did the exact same thing. Because it doesn't say anything different. It just says C, which all those are capacitors. You know, 680 is not that common. Not as common as everything else, but it's good to have like 10 of those stocked. 25 volt 680 is a good one to get. 35 volt 220, which is what we have there. Yep, that's all good. Get this one. Okay. Ugh. There we go. Ooh. Now this is supposed to be 16470, and yes, it is a 16 volt 470 right there. Then we got Tiny Tim down here. CP13. Whoa, we lost her. It's okay. Gonna pull that one out. I'm replacing all the caps. The board's not making an awful noise. That's the tool. That's the suction tool, my friend. That is the removal tool. There we go. These things get so twisted. The legs on them. There we go. 50 volt 2.2. Perfect. All right. Got all those out. Remove this cable conductor. Mr. Conductor. Okay. Looking good. Then we're going to remove. Looks like just 2 more on this half. 3 more. CF31. What's this one? CF07. What's this one? CF17. So I'm going to remove these 3 next. CF17. CF 07 CF 31. '31 is a 16 volt 47 microfarad. This one is 16100. Polarity looks good on both of them. 17 is got good polarity. And that one is a 50 volt one. Okay. There we go. See, I've just been writing them all down here. Hey, Steve, Race, welcome in. All right, Steve, talking to myself, right? Steve, how are you today? Good, Steve. How are you doing, Steve? Oh, wonderful, Steve. Good to see you again, Steve. Oh, thank you. That's what I say every day in the morning. I look at myself in the mirror. Drive my wife insane. Don't you know? Now, home about the latest CRT. Yeah. Sometimes it depends on the manufacturing. Depends on how they... Usually these are all put together by machines at this point. So they would have been pre-bent and installed in mass quantity. So they would have pre-installed all these parts and probably put this through some kind of solder bath on the bottom. Boy, there has been some work done to this in the past. Look at that. To be honest, look. Here's something else. Look at all that. I mean, I didn't do that. Just noticed that. It's like that cheesy Michael Keaton movie where he keeps cloning himself. But I think the clones just get dumber. CF17, 50 volt one. There we go. All right. CF07. This should be a 16 volt 100. There we go. San Juan. There we go, San Juan. What is that one called? Multiplicity or something like that? No, Mark, actually, this is my editing PC. It's actually quite good. No problems, thankfully. Whole new PC. That other PC, I let the kids play Roblox on it now. And I do like home stuff from it. And it's fine to do that. What was the other one that I got? Logged. 50 volt 1, 16 volt 47. Alright, I'm getting something. Missed the capacitor, I think, there. There, this one. Okay. I wasn't seeing it because of the heat sink. This chip right there. Man, it can be tricky sometimes. Got distracted by that awful repair right there, which isn't very clean. So I'll go through and reshape that, clean it up. Just wonder about that mod. I mean, there's no way I would ever know anything about documentation on it. Makes me wonder if that's actually been done by somebody. That's kind of odd. 1647. But I tested the CRT for like 4 hours yesterday, and it worked fine. No problems. Different resolutions. You know, we're going to go with good ones, but they're not going to be super expensive, Postal Dude. I think I went through that pretty heavily. You can go back. Of course, yes. ASDF. I think I just showed that. I've got all that written down here, but this is also documented in the back of the service manual so I can double check after I'm done. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going through and writing this down, removing the capacitors, double checking that they're right, making sure that the printing on the board matches what it should be for polarity. And I'm also inspecting to make sure, like I said, we just found a couple other issues on the board. We found that mod thingy. I don't know what the heck again this is about. We found this modification right here. And then we found a repair spot over here where looks like one of these transistors was replaced or something, and somebody burnt maybe the circuit board when they did it. So that's going to get cleaned up. I'm going to clean up both those, and I'm going to document that, send that as part of the repair restoration job to the client. So they need to know about all that, of course. I mean, that's part of it. So, yeah, great. So as you can tell on today's stream, that's a great time to show you kind of what we've been able to accomplish on today's show. It's getting to be 1:30, and we've gone about an hour here, which is a good time to kind of try to wrap things up. I'm sorry if I make anybody dizzy there, but I wanted to get a good spot. So this is an idea of what we've done. Come in here, we've removed, we've decapped half the board and documented it. Okay, give it a little more light. We found this mod. We removed and documented all these electrolytic capacitors. Same thing over in this area. This capacitor will be removed to replaced. It's a snap in, so I'm not going to use the desoldering tool on it. I'm going to use a different method. But there's all those capacitors are gone for the power. The ones that remain will be on this side of the board. Got the flyback down in there, all those down in there. See up? Yep, there we go. See them down in here. Cole's starting to snore over in here. So that's the second half of the board. It'll probably take me another 45 minutes to decap all that. Right there. And so that's kind of it. This is our trophies so far. Okay, see, that's all been removed. And I won't get rid of these till after the project is done and I make sure all the new capacitors work. Okay. And again, this is all documented right here. See? Right here. Okay. And then, to even go further than that, remember, let's go over here real quick. Back to our service manual. And if I scroll over here, let's see what this says. Ooh, I got it real close. Okay, this is kind of an odd way to put these parts. Let's see what this says. CRT board. Okay. That's the neck board. We're not working on the neck board, okay? Let's go over here. This has got to be the other board then. Okay. So if we start up here, look at this. You want to check some of these things and triple check that we're right. Look at this. We can go right in here. Right? Main board. What's the first one we tried to get? CF. Let's see what it says. The first one, CF07. Right here. Cap electrolytic. Even gives you a little bit more. SMS. 16 volt. 100 UF. M. Okay? Really all you need to worry about is this. And as long as you do better on the others, you're fine. Electrolytic. But there you go. But the thing is, some of them will be different. Look at this. See, when we get to like some of these, they're going to be ones we're not changing. And then what was the next one? 17. 50 volt 1 right here. That's what we got. $16 volt 100 for 07, right? Yep. 31. 16 volt 47. There you go. Okay? That's what you can do. You go back and check your notes, make sure everything's good. That's what you do to really make sure the job is done right. All right, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this session in the bunker. And I'm going to get this job finished up, at least the decapping, and we'll come back later on this week, check in on it, do some more work on it, and then finally there will be a full episode on this one. If you do have any interest in supporting the channel, you can click on the description of this stream and head on over to patreon.com. Thank you everybody who does support the channel on Patreon and the show. And also that's where you can get CRT services and restorations such as this one scheduled out for you and your CRT if you need it. Anyway, thank you again everybody. I really appreciate it. Have a good time and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next live stream. All right, we're getting back to it. It's great. If you want to see anything in the meantime, you can also follow the channel, follow our account, my account, the account of many Steves. It's managed over at Twitter. It's at USA Retro, and you can check out my Twitter account. I post there almost every day, multiple times. Cool little videos, different things, details, more and more on things like this. So if you want to stay connected, you can do that, and that's completely free. And follow the channel and follow us there. All of us, all 28 Steves. All right? See you guys. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your week.